Welcome, fellow productivity seekers. In this video, we're going to talk about 17 Windows keyboard shortcuts that I use every day for productivity. So the mouse is a great instrument. It moves things around the screen. It is a really great way to communicate with your computer, to work with your interfaces. But there's a faster way, and keyboard shortcuts are often faster than its equivalent version of the mouse version. So let's look at this. Let's look at the very first one, Control C. Now, probably all of you know this, so I'm going over something you already know. But if you were to want to copy normally, you'd have to highlight that. You have to right click and then use copy. So that's kind of like 3 steps. Instead, I can highlight that, go Control C, and then, of course, I can easily just, down here, paste, Control V. So Control C for copy, Control V for paste. And that easily gives me, a copy of something. So I find that it's faster for me to go Control C, Control V than to right click and then try to choose the copy command and then the paste command. Now, there's another command you may not have come across yet, which is Shift Control V, which is paste without formatting. So what this is useful for is, let's say if I go to a website like this, let's say I copy this part, Control C to copy, and then I come back to my notes program here, and now I'm going to paste. Well, look at that. I'm getting the formatting from the website. I'm getting the links. And maybe I didn't want that. So I'm just going to undo that. Then I'm going to go Shift Control V. And you can see I get the text without any formatting. So this is a great way to just get the clean text that you want without the formatting. The other benefit of this is often you're working with the website probably has a different font than the font you're working in. So if you're copying and pasting from 4 or 5 different websites, you're going to have a hodgepodge of different fonts. Now, you notice I'm undoing this as I go. And of course, that's the Control Z command, which is what I use a lot, undo. So every time I make a mistake, I go Control Z, and then that undoes the command that I just did. So next, I've got the scroll right and the scroll left commands, which are really just the right and left arrows on your keyboards. And so what I use that for is in things like spreadsheets where I need to go across further to find things. So it's quicker to do it that way than to go, I find, than to go across with the scroll bars in the bottom. I find the left and right often works, especially if I want to just jump one cell. Page down. Now, this is an interesting one. So, most websites are long, almost never-ending walls of text. So in order to go down this page, usually you're going to use your scroll button and you're going to scroll down. Now, usually your scroll button is set to go down a line or two. Now, you can change that. You can change your scroll button to go down a whole page. But the page down command, which is on your keyboard, will do that just fine. So if I hit page down, it goes a whole screen at a time, which is a really fast way to scan quickly to see where the article is that you want, what it is you're looking for. Now, if you get all the way to the bottom and you want to go back up, you could go page up, but again, you're going to have to go 5 or 6 times in the page up or the long scroll up, or you can hit the home button again on your keyboard. And usually these are just above the arrow keys. So the page down and the home buttons are much faster ways, I find, to move through a very long document. The next one I want to talk about is Control W. So what this does is it closes a tab. So let's say, okay, I'm done with CNN. I'm done with the breaking news there. Let's go Control W, and that closes that tab and leaves my other tabs open. So the benefit there is it's very quick to close a tab at a time, rather than having to go all the way up there where I have to see. It takes time. If your mouse was down here, it takes time to go up there. Control W, if your fingers are on the keyboard, is nearly instant. AltTab is another one that I use. So AltTab pages through windows and apps. So if you've got a bunch of windows and apps open, this way you can shift between. Okay, so if I want to go to the Excel now, I can just go ahead and I can go there. So this shows me all the things that are open, and I can quickly go between them. Now, some ones I've started using recently that I wasn't using as much is the command left and the command right, and that will snap a window left or right. So if I go command and then the right arrow, that snaps this Windows keyboard shortcuts for productivity over there. If I open back up this section, make it full size, and go command left, that will snap it over to the left side. So if you've got a large monitor, this is a great way to work in two halves. I used to work with two monitors, but now I have one large 32-inch curved screen that I really like. So now I do this a lot, that I'm continually snapping the windows to the left or the right. In order to lock my computer, I used to go down to the start menu, look for my picture, click on it, then go lock. So, three clicks to get a lock. But now there's a much faster way. I just go Command L, and it locks my my computer right away. So I don't know about you, but I hate it when my computer locks when I'm in the middle of something, or if I'm reading a screen and then suddenly it locks on me. So I usually don't. I think I've got my computer probably set that it doesn't lock unless it's like not being used for an hour or something like that. But if I'm going to go out, I want my computer to be locked if someone comes in and steals my computer, so that they have to work harder to break the passwords. So the Control Lock command is a great way to Command L, sorry, is a great way to be able to get that. Control Alt Delete is one I use a fair bit. Usually when some program freezes, you go Control Alt Delete, and it lets you lock, switch user, which is another useful thing, sign out, or go to Task Manager. So quite often it's the Task Manager I go for. And this is great if one of these programs wasn't working. I can then click on it and then go End Task, and then that task will end. So down to the last three now. So the last three are really just formatting ones. So you can use Control I for italic text. So if I go Control I and then type hello, I've got italics. Control B, bold. Takes bold on or off. So in that case, I had the bold on, I guess, already. So Control B makes it bold. Control B then takes it off. And if I want to underline text, I go Control U. And then the text is underlined. And this works in most programs. So these are Windows keyboard shortcuts, so they tend to work in most programs. So you can use them wherever you want to. There's ways of getting more too. You can create macros for certain keyboard shortcuts. I use text expanders to create keyboard shortcuts to drop whole sales letters and things like that in emails and things. But these are just some keyboard shortcuts that I use pretty much. Most of these I use every day. Definitely copy, paste, undo, page down I use all the time now. And some of these take a bit of a habit to get used to using. I had to get used to using page down instead of the scroll button, but it is much faster now that I'm using this. I hope you found this one useful. If you'd like to download a copy of this list, you can see how to do that by following the link below. Please hit the like and subscribe button, because it really helps other people on YouTube find my content, and so it really helps promote me. It's a great free way to help promote me. And also, if you'd like to contact me, you can contact me using one of the links below. And please consider supporting me on Patreon by joining my inner circle. Thank you so much for listening.